Welcome to the Daily Bible for Kids podcast. The date is March the 30th. My name is Hunter, and we are reading through the Bible. That's something we do every day. We take some time in God's Word, and we let His Word take some time on us. Kids from all around the world are gathering here to listen to these amazing stories from the Bible. And today we're in the book of 1 Samuel. Goliath was saying that no one in Israel was strong enough to fight him. Do you think the Israelites would prove him wrong? Let's read what happens in 1 Samuel chapter 17.
Then Goliath, a Philistine champion from Gath, came out of the Philistine ranks to face the forces of Israel. He was over 9 feet tall. He wore a bronze helmet, and his bronze coat of mail weighed 125 pounds. He also wore bronze leg armor, and he carried a bronze javelin on his shoulder. The shaft of his spear was as heavy and thick as a weaver's beam, tipped with an iron spearhead that weighed 15 pounds. His armor-bearer walked ahead of him, carrying a shield. Goliath stood and shouted a taunt across to the Israelites. "Why are you all coming out to fight?" he called. "I am a Philistine champion, but you are only the servants of Saul. Choose one man to come down here to fight me. If he kills me, then we will be your slaves. But if I kill him, you will be our slaves. I defy the armies of Israel today. Send me a man who will fight me." When Saul and the Israelites heard this, they were terrified and deeply shaken. One day Jesse said to David, "Take this basket of roasted grain and these 10 loaves of bread and carry them quickly to your brothers, and give these 10 cuts of cheese to their captain. See how your brothers are getting along and bring back a report on how they're doing." David's brothers were with Saul in the Israelite army at the valley of Elah, fighting against the Philistines. So David left the sheep with another shepherd and set out early the next morning with the gifts as Jesse had directed him. He arrived at the camp just as the Israelite army was leaving for the battlefield with shouts and battle cries. Soon the Israelites and Philistine forces stood facing each other, army against army. David left his things with the keeper of supplies, hurried out to the ranks to greet his brothers. As he was talking with them, Goliath, the Philistine champion from Gath, came out from the Philistine ranks. Then David heard him shout his usual taunt to the army of Israel. As soon as the Israelite army saw him, they began to run away in fright. "Have you seen the giant?" the men asked. "He comes out each day to defy Israel. The king has offered a huge reward to anyone who kills him. He will give that man one of his daughters for a wife, and the man's entire family will be exempt from paying taxes." David asked the soldiers standing nearby, "What will a man get for killing this Philistine and ending his defiance of Israel? Who is this pagan Philistine anyway, that he's allowed to defy the armies of the living God?" And these men gave David the same reply. They said, "Yes, that is the reward for killing him." But when David's oldest brother, Eliab, heard David talking to the men, he was angry. "What are you doing around here anyway?" he demanded. "What about those few sheep you're supposed to be taking care of? I know about your pride and deceit. You just want to see the battle." "What have I done now?" David replied. "I was only asking a question." He walked over to some of the others and asked them the same thing and received the same answer. Wow, I see a showdown coming. Not one Israelite soldier took up the challenge. All of them were too afraid to fight the giant, but David was ready. He was not a soldier, and he was not very big, but his faith was. David believed that the God of Israel could and would defeat Goliath. David shows us that you don't have to be an adult or be big or be strong to have faith. You really only need to have 2 things. To believe that God is who He says He is, and 2, to trust God to do what He says He will do. God will show Himself strong, even in those who are small, even in those who are young, even in those who are weak. His strength is made perfect in our weakness. And that, my friend, is great news. Well, hey, we've done it again. We've spent another day in the Bible, and I plan on being back here again tomorrow to do the same thing.
Lord willing and the creek don't rise, I plan on being here. I hope you are too. And while you're at it, invite a friend. Until that time, let's go forward in God's joy. Let's let His joy be our strength, and let us always remember this, that you are loved. No doubt about it. Alrighty, I'll talk to you again tomorrow. You guys take care. Bye-bye.